So what's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's VoroAMI, and in today's video, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about Miles Morales and why he's that guy in my opinion, why he's like the best legacy character in the last 10 years. So let's first talk about why I think he's such a great legacy character. So the first off, so there's been many legacy characters in Marvel and DC, even other places like Image Comics too, but I feel like Miles Morales is like the latest legacy character that's really been a breakthrough in my opinion, especially the fact that he's done so many things that so many legacy characters of the past have not been able to do, and that's break into the cultural landscape, such as movies, video games. He's become such an iconic character now that people are starting to put him on the same pedestal as Peter Parker, or they're even preferring him over Peter Parker. So Miles Morales, man, so he's been a character that's been like, he's not even that old of a character. He's been around for like 12 years, I think. He first showed up in 2011 as a part of the Ultimate Universe, so not even the main Marvel Universe either too. He was created as a replacement for Peter Parker of that universe because we all know what happened to that Peter Parker. He was killed, and I believe, and I haven't read the comic in a long time, but he was killed in his last battle with the Green Goblin of that universe. And so with Peter Parker dead, there had to be a new Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And so the first couple of issues had him trying to understand his powers, trying to see if he can become as good as Peter Parker was when he was Spider-Man. There was even like a couple issues where he was wearing a Zach replica of Peter Parker's suit before he finally got his own costume, the black and red, that's become synonymous with Miles Morales' character too. But it was really cool too. So Miles Morales, the reason why I feel like he's such a great legacy character is the fact that he's been able to he's beating the whole mold of legacy characters just staying in the comic books and eventually being replaced by their predecessors, because this guy has had his own video game. I love his video game too. He's had two great movies. The second one that came out this year, so much greatness with that movie, man. And I'm excited to see what they do with the third movie as well. And also, he's also going to be in the second Marvel Spider-Man video game too. So it'll be Peter Parker and Miles Morales too. And he's done something that so many Spider-Man replacements from the past have not been able to do. He's been able to successfully have his own series, his own video game, his own movies, with Peter Parker still being there too. Because let's think of all the previous Spider-Man replacements. Let's talk about Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly's a really popular one too. I like him a lot too. He first emerged in the 90s as one of the three different Peter Parker clones. I think it was Kane Parker too, and another one. And of course, Ben Reilly. The Marvel. I don't know. Marvel doesn't really try with Ben Reilly at all. Like he even had a recent Spider-Man series where he briefly replaced Peter Parker for a while. He was in a handful of stuff such as Devil's Reign, all kinds of stuff, and then suddenly he's not Spider-Man anymore. He's back to being Peter Parker and Miles Morales again. And then there's Kane Parker too, who is basically a much more grittier version of Peter Parker. He also goes by Scarlet Spider. I don't know what he's doing in the Marvel Universe anymore. He hasn't shown up in a long time in the comic books. And then there's Otto Octavius, the Superior Spider-Man, one of the most popular versions of Spider-Man that they tried doing in 2013 to reboot Spider-Man a little bit. Of course, people were enjoying him at first, and then they were like, we want Peter Parker back. So we ended up getting Peter Parker back. But I think Otto Octavius is coming back as Superior Spider-Man. I think there's a series with him as Superior Spider-Man right now. But Miles Morales, he's been through all the trials and tribulations. And the cool thing is that this guy did not even start off in the main universe. He's probably the most popular thing that came out of the Ultimate Universe, because we all know how controversial the Ultimate Universe is. So many crazy things came out of the Ultimate Universe. Like I'm talking about Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, some of the issues of the Ultimates, which are basically the Avengers of that universe. So many crazy things that happened there, like the Hulk's characterization. Hulk fans do not like how the Ultimate Hulk went. Let's see, the Blob, basically the stuff that went on with the X-Men, the Ultimate version of Wolverine, all that stuff. But I believe the Ultimate Spider-Man and Miles Morales were the best things that came out of the Ultimate Universe. So I'm really glad when Miles was brought into the main 616 universe. And so Miles Morales, he's that guy, man. I'm talking about because he's done something that I believe since Wally West, because Wally West is the only other legacy character that I can think of that did really well as a legacy character. Like Wally West, for those that don't know, he's another version of the Flash. He was the Flash for 20 plus years, so you can just imagine in that time frame, he was the Flash. So it got to a point where he was the Flash in like the cartoons, the video games, even some of the animated movies. It got to a point where people even forgot who Barry Allen was, you know, until I didn't even know who he was until the CW show. The CW shows when I first learned of Barry Allen, but you know, so since like possibly Wally West, there's not been a legacy character that's dominated the landscape like that to the point where he's in movies, video games, all that stuff that feature him as the main character. So that's another cool thing that I really like about Miles Morales is the fact that he's been pushed so well and he's had so much success that so many characters like Kyle Rayner, so many of these other legacy characters that have stayed to the comics that they wish they had with their own series, you know. So Miles Morales, man, Miles Morales. He's also, in my opinion, Miles Morales is what Static should have been for DC. We all remember Static from back then when the show would air on. We all remember Static. So Miles is what Static should have been. All the issues with Static on the reason why he did not show up for DC in a while, and the reason why DC's not been pushing him is because of the whole legal battles with, I believe it was Milestone Comics, Dwayne McDuffie, all of them that started in the 2000s. So characters like Static, Icon, all these different characters, Hardware, all those characters they just suddenly vanished because of the whole stuff. And now it's not until recently, I think it was like 2018, 2019, where Static has now been pushed again by DC. So I'm hoping with how Marvel has been doing Miles Morales is that finally DC finally is like thinking, okay, let's try pushing characters that aren't Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Like there's so many characters. I might even make a video on characters I want to see in the DCU, which is going to be something that James Gunn is doing in the future on the reboot DC movies and also other projects too. I want to do all the characters that I want to see, and Static is definitely one. And thank God that he has a project by Michael B. Jordan, who also grew up on Static, so he knows the potential of Static. Static can do so much, man. He can do so much. But anyways, Miles Morales, man. I really love everything that Marvel has done for him. Like, of course, Miles, like every other legacy character, he has haters out there, people that believe that he stole a lot from Peter Parker. And I mean, it's true. Like, I mean, as a character, you know, as a legacy character, you're bound to take some elements from the previous characters, whether it be their villains, their supporting characters. I mean, that's what Peter Parker. That's what they do with it. That's what they do with Peter Parker in the MCU. In the MCU, a lot of his traits can be like a lot of his character traits can be traced back to Miles Morales, such as Peter Parker's best friend in the MCU. I think his name is Ned. I haven't watched the movies in a while, but in the comics, I'm pretty sure in the comics, Miles Morales' best friend is named Genki, and it's pretty much the same character, just name change. So, I mean, that's the whole thing with legacy characters. That legacy characters are gonna have similarities with their predecessors or their successors, and sharing the same villains, the supporting characters, and of course the abilities as well. But I want to know you guys' thoughts down below on what you think about Miles Morales, how much this character's impacted y'all, and if he's your favorite version of Spider-Man in the comics. Because Miles, he's really become my favorite version of Spider-Man, and I grew up on Peter Parker. Everything, the Tobey Maguire movies, the Andrew Garfield movies, the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, Spectacular Spider-Man. I grew up on all of that, but Miles Morales, seeing a character like him that's been around for like 12 years. 12 years is not a long time for a comic book character. A character that I can think of that's had that much impact, that's been a relatively young character, is possibly Harley Quinn, who's only been around for like 30 years. And then Jaime Reyes, who recently just got a movie. He's only been around for 17 years and he has his own movie. I can only think of those two characters. So Miles, he's a really big success in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be doing all kinds of videos for you guys in the future. One of the topics I want to talk about on this channel is stuff that deals with superheroes such as Miles Morales. So you guys just let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see on the channel in the future. And as I said before, the schedule for the channel now is that I want to be doing 1 to 2 videos per week, and I want them to be either on Tuesday or Thursday. So I hope y'all stick around for the future of the channel. And as I said before, hope y'all get a nice week, and I'll catch y'all for the next video. Peace.